queens, and gentle Xenos, coming to you live from Rick Priestley's luxurious mansion. This is the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. And here is your host, Mr. Pink.
All right.
Hello and welcome to the internet's #1 Xenos shit show. I'm your host, Mr. Pink, Modern Synthesist, and I'm having a hell of a time with my technology today, so we'll see how this goes. All right. Oh, and the thing that we're talking about today is Junestealer 2024. Woo! So Junestealer is the celebration of all things Genestealer in the month of June. Hydra, you going to be using your video?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to bring you up then. One moment. Yeah, sorry for the delay. I intended to start this all early, and then my computer decided that it had different ideas for what we were going to do. So that was annoying. But yeah, we're here now, finally. But this, if you've watched previous streams, you're going to notice, I don't know, maybe you won't notice, but you might notice that the camera quality over here is not great. And that's because my super sexy ultra webcam that I use, well, it's not a webcam, it's a mirrorless DSLR that I have. It decided that it doesn't want to stream today. Maybe it's because we're starting early or something, and it's like, no, this is not when we normally start streaming. What the heck are you trying to do to me? But yeah, so I am literally using my potato Logitech webcam that I started with when I first started streaming, so...
Hey.
What?
Careful there. That's what I'm still using.
Yeah, well, some of us have moved on.
Yeah.
So,
Don't act as if you're a professional.
what is a camera hub? What the heck would I need a camera hub? I'm not a professional. I'm definitely not a professional. Professionals do not deal with this level of nonsense. Okay, so we've got Simon's video coming up sometime soon. Anyway, thank you to everyone in the chat who was patient with all this nonsense. Thank you to Flynnhammer, who was actually on the line with me and patient with me swearing profusely, because that.
Oh, we have Nikki Grill there.
Oh, Nikki's here. Awesome. Crier, Simon. Crier. Nikki Crier. We're not talking about a barbecue. We're not saying, hey, why don't you grill it? All right. We got you and your
Thank you for making me look dumb.
Oh, dude, I was dumb for so long before. I know that from experience, because I was saying it wrong for a long time. So you're in good company.
Yeah. Still make me look pretty dumb, dude.
I maintain that I mispronounced it way more than you ever did.
Mm-hmm.
So how you doing, Simon?
Little bit. I don't know if edgy is the right term, but
On edge?
yeah, I don't know. Too much happening in life right now. I have no way of catching up.
Yeah.
I apparently don't like calling people on the phone.
No one does. It's our generation, man. No one does.
Yeah, it's supposed to be simple, but I had to deal with 3 different companies in
Organizations?
No. The dudes who insure your insurances.
Oh, insurance companies.
Is that the term? Yes, 3 different ones.
Oh, wow.
And I had to call them and talk to them and organize things, and I was like, yeah, can we not just
send some emails?
Yeah.
Folks in the chat, let us know if you enjoy calling people on the phone or if you goddammit can't stand it.
I felt I I don't know why. When I talk to people, at some point I'm easy and everything's fine, but
Yeah.
it takes me so much effort to pick up the damn phone and call someone.
Yeah.
And that has actually hindered me, my own disability to simply pick up the freaking phone and call someone. And therefore, I don't have my new car by now because I couldn't bother to. No, I couldn't. Just call someone and be like, "Hey, I have this situation, and how do we proceed from here?"
Yeah.
And because of all of that, nothing has worked this week. And on top of that, kids are sick, which is annoying as well. And work is freaking annoying and too much.
Life is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yep.
I got a
Pretty
bit of
much
that. Because my brother, so the reason that we're streaming early today is that I really wanted to get the stream in because Junestealer's coming up, and I wanted to be able to have a thing where we talk about Junestealer before it starts, because Nora and I are going on vacation to Europe in a week. But of course, my brother has decided that now is the time when he wants to visit from Japan with his family. So tonight, I need to get off the stream and drive up north of the city to go and have dinner with my brother and his family, which I'm totally happy about. But yeah, it's kind of been a lot. So I feel like I'm with you on the life is a lot right now. And then like there's like preparations for the actual trip and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I feel like May has been a weird month. Like there's a German saying that that translates to the May makes everything new.
Yep.
Probably referring to it being spring.
Yeah.
Here, but I feel like there has been so much bullshit, like not bullshit, but
Stuff.
Stuff. Yeah, but not the pleasant stuff.
Yeah.
Not the there's so many opportunities. I don't know which ones to take. But
like tasks.
Like everything is important. Everything is always grinding. Nothing is cheerful. Nothing is easy. It's always like, oh yeah, we have to discuss this. We have to talk about this. All those serious talks, man, that has happened this month so far. And it's been only, I don't know, 2 weeks since May. But all these talks.
Oh man.
Fuck.
I feel like I'm a bit guilty of that too.
Well, if it was just, that thing is just one of 4 or 5 different things.
Okay, you just got a lot of things.
Yes, and that annoys me.
Well, I'm sorry for all your things. I assure you we don't have to talk about anything important here. Just fun stuff.
That's fine. We talk about serious stuff sometimes, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Flynnhammer, how you been doing?
I just run to get some beer.
Yeah, go for it. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Yeah, I've not been. Beer always helps. The German tea.
German tea.
I've been not been too bad. Running around, nowhere near as much as Hydra. Just been working on little projects and stuff. Started doing the painting on my first sort of like sponsorship sort of thing that I've got going on.
Oh, that's the
STL
giant that you got?
Stands. Yeah, the stands I like to put the models on. So I've got like an orc one, a corn one, and a Tyranid one, which looks like a huge Tyrannocyte, which I
still haven't looked at these damn
it's brilliant,
stands. Can you like link me to them or something? Can you like put them in like our chat so that I have no excuse not to look at them? Flynn, you still there?
I'll send you the. I'm still here.
Okay.
Is it because I was saying I know the Kickstarter he just posted saying the Kickstarter is going to be starting next week, so it will all be there of like which ones are which. So the Kickstarter are actually going to start. So there's loads of different ones for different factions.
Hold on.
Because I've only got it as like a Google Doc with a list.
Oh,
of them.
okay.
So it's just sort of getting that surprise. But aside from that, I've had a few. I'm sorting everything out for Junestealer, getting that post sorted out. But I've had ideas that I really shouldn't be having ideas for, but are more not crazy ideas for conversions, more crazy ideas for what can I do with all my spare bits that I've got left over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Such as so all of the giants have got. I get that texture base for it.
Yeah.
So it's got like the battlefield on it. So I thought I've got enough of them. I can actually make. It's just a little bit smaller, but I've got enough to do a Blood Bowl board. So all I have to do around it is just do like make some like muddy area
Yeah.
to look like, and then mark it out as a Blood Bowl table.
Yeah.
So you can just have it a game of Blood Bowl on there, even though I don't have any Blood Bowl models. It's something I can use those bases for.
Listen, people
So
really
it's
like
just having
Blood Bowl.
those
Blood Bowl's supposed to be really
sort of
popular. I've
ideas
never
right
played
now
it,
and
but
just having a bit of fun with that rather than. Oh yeah, but I just like think it's a brilliant way of using those up, because otherwise
yeah.
they would just sit around doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
But
I
also,
sculpted some brains this week.
You mentioned about the phone calls.
Sorry? What?
Ooh, yeah, I was going to say about the phone call bit. That is my job. So all I say is, if you ever call someplace, just be succinct. Say exactly what you're wanting. Don't go around the houses, because that's what people get too nervous when they call up.
Yeah.
They just word vomit. So if you just
Yeah.
know exactly what you need, it makes everything so much easier.
Yes, and that's my fucking problem, because I have no fucking clue what I need. I have a situation and I want someone to fix the situation and
Yeah.
give me a solution. And then I call people and like, okay, here's my life story.
You went around the
Now do
houses.
something useful.
You're not succinct enough, Simon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's I'm not very typical German in that regard. I'm not efficient.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Flynn, what's the chat saying about how much they love or don't love talking on the phone?
So James Milner has.
Flynn, we totally lost you after James
Radon
Milner.
says,
Your audio totally cut out.
Yeah, I work in a call center, so yeah, I know his pain. He goes, Radon995 says, I call if necessary. Diana says, the only thing worse is receiving phone calls.
Yeah.
Varzadan says, I can't even remember the last time they actually answered their phone from another caller. Tom Wilson says, I struggle even texting or emailing people, especially in a professional situation. Diana says they were on the phone trying to get through to their GP and then got a phone call to book their smart meter fitting, which they don't want. Verizon also says this: calling people is a damn sure. They've just set aside other things and plan accordingly for phone calls. Off the cuff ones aren't an issue, but more important ones is a focused event. I know that about booking dentist appointments.
Yeah.
Very annoying. I got very lucky. Called up, had to get to the answer machine, gave time dates I could make an appointment, and they just sent me an appointment afterwards. I got very lucky with that. Normally,
Fantastic.
you don't get that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing your there you go, Simon. You're not alone. Everyone would rather avoid the phone if they could.
Hooray.
Yeah, Nora regularly, like, she'll just, like, pick up the phone and call somebody. And I'm like, no, you need to, like, text them first to let them know that you're going to call. And she's like, who cares? Because if people randomly call me, I'm like, wait, what? What are we doing here? I'm not terrible. Like, I did grow up with, phones. Like, actual ones that are attached to a wall.
I did grow up with phones. That's something to put on a t-shirt.
The ones that are attached to the wall. Landlines. I grew up with landlines. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So like I'm okay with it, but I think that I tend to text. Like I'll text my mom. She'll be like, "Why don't you call me?" I'm like, "Why can't we text?" Yeah, so anyway, my brother's here, and that means that I can only stream for well, when we were supposed to start, I could stream for 2 hours, and I feel like now I can stream for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Thereabouts, because of all my technical mumbo-jumbo at the start.
Great.
So what I've been doing hobby-wise, I've been working on my tall man, thin man, my patriarch, like Simon's patriarch. I gave him a big bloated brain thing on his back, and now I'm gonna make like this kind of cage thing that contains it. I recorded this for a video because one of the most requests I get for a sculpting video is how to sculpt brains. So
Wow.
it's in the off. Oh shit. Oh crap. This is about to go from bad to worse. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, I was going to make a joke. He does videos as well? What's going on?
That's surprisingly.
Yeah.
Do you know your way around the Genestealer cult sprues a bit?
To a degree. I do not know the biker sprue.
So I have
Which sprue are you thinking of?
I have the sprue here. I assume it's Arcalites. I would assume. Slightly mutated, but no 3 hands, as far as
Neophytes. Neophytes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know if there's any set that has bulkier torso than these?
For the Genestealers.
Yes.
Okay, the Aberrant sprue is bulkier.
Yeah, but they are huge, right?
They're not
that
huge.
huge. They're not huge.
They're not huge.
They're smaller than Ogrins.
But they don't have armor.
Yeah.
Aberrants don't wear armor. Simon, the Acolytes have bulkier armor. Sorry, yeah. The Acolyte hybrids. Their armor's slightly thicker. It has holes for 3 arms, but you can change that.
But so the Neophytes have space for 3 arms in some of the bodies as well.
What?
It's all flat size as well.
It's a different kit though, Simon. Do you have the Acolytes? They come in 5s. They're the ones that have like more like Genestealer-y arms. But still armor.
Yeah. No, I don't have them. Okay, never mind. I was looking. I really like these the torso design of the Neophytes.
Yep.
Because they are a little bit hunched over and have these funky spacesuit vibes.
Yep.
Oh, the Acolytes are the same, more hunched over, and they're the same design. It's just more hunched, I think. I don't really think they're much bigger.
They're not.
Okay.
But you don't have that kit.
No.
It's a good kit. It has like weird mutant arms in it too.
That's what the weird lictor arm is on.
Yeah,
as well. There's really
glorious tiny little lictor arm. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Junestealer. Sorry, I had to take a phone call because I failed to book a haircut with my barber, and she was like, "Oh, I can squeeze you in at 6 p.m." I'm like, "I gotta go visit my friend from Japan. I mean, my brother from Japan at 6 p.m. I'm sorry." So anyway, I was worried I'd have to like quit the stream or just like leave the stream running with you guys talking while I went and got my haircut.
So you found a way?
Well, no, the way is that I can't go get my haircut before I travel to Europe because she's on vacation next week and then I'm on vacation the following week. So it's going to be a Nora haircut. She's very good at that.
You know, that's the benefit when you start to lose your hair like I do.
Yeah.
And you just, go to any dude and say, "Hey, make it shorter. You cannot do anything fancy with it. Just make it shorter."
I mean, I probably could do that.
Like an exploded pander anymore.
I probably could do that, but then I'd be cheating on the barber that literally cut my hair since I was a child. I mean, I had a break in there, but otherwise she's mostly been cutting my hair since I was a child.
Oh,
Just a
she's on
question.
vacation.
She's on vacation, yeah. Oh, you know her.
Nick.
You went to her. I took you there. Irene.
Yep. Yep.
Lynn?
Does a Nora haircut involve a bowl of any sort?
No, Nora just shaves the sides and back of my head. She got very capable at it when the pandemic was happening. And then we just leave the hair on top long.
Nice.
Oh,
You
sorry.
go back to the Expanse look.
No, not quite that long. It hasn't been that long since my last haircut. I'm not going full Miller.
Oh, I did that during lockdown.
Paul Miller. Nice. Like the sound of that. Going full Miller.
Not
Okay,
just
I
yet.
won't go with this because I like how it looks.
What are you doing? Are you making like a little minion to go with your patriarch?
No, I'm actually I have been having the idea for this kicking in my head for quite a while because there will be the Vestarian event happening, and I volunteered to build some NPCs.
Mhm.
And I heard it. The thing that Bill Ford organizes is shifted to November.
Yep.
But still, as little time as I have, I should get. You always have to take in consideration that it needs to be shipped on the other side of the world and all that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to build it and see if it works because
crap.
it needs to be a kit bash that can be sort of mass produced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to bash a. Oh, he had a fancy word for it, but basically it's the arbites from the church.
Mm-hmm. Ecclesiarchy?
Maybe, yes. Well, that's the church, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they have like police units themselves.
Yeah, they might have another word for it, but I know one of the like weird gothic Warhammer words they use for it is ecclesiarchy.
Yeah, and
about church stuff.
I have these. I wanted to have something robed, but robes quickly suggest like a cultish background, and have not so much. How would you say, military ting to it?
Yeah.
So what I want. So I'm using a Fireforge northern what's his face? Northern warrior dude.
Mm-hmm.
They have these padded knee-long
robes
coats.
Or something? Coats, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a robe. It's not down to the bottom. You still see the knees and the boots.
Yeah.
But it is less than a robe, but more than nothing.
I'm gonna call it a cassock.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a cassock is. It's something that a priest wears.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here because I don't feel the patriarch right now. I need to fidget with something else and warm up a little before I start on something serious.
Well, that's okay. I'm really feeling my patriarch right now, so I'll take over.
Yeah. Oh, you said you sculpted brains and you made a video for it?
Yeah. So I sculpted, inspired by a piece of art by Roberto Cirillo. He did this one sketch for a Genestealer thing that looks kind of like a patriarch that has this like actually, should I see if I can find it?
You keep talking, I'll see if I can find anything.
If you just go to modernsynthesis.com and search art of Roberto Cirillo, and it's one of his sketches. It's like a quadrupedal patriarch that has this kind of like cage structure on its back, and I don't know if it has brain in the cage structure on its back, but
I'm on their page now. I'm just having a look. Hang on, wait. Check them all out. That's where we go. No, error 404 not found. Damn it.
What? What's not found?
Yeah,
Our website? That's a problem.
No, not your website. There's the link. Oh wait, here's a link to the full album. There we go. There was another link on there which didn't have it. So
Oh,
I'm just
that's
checking
sorry.
the,
That's yeah. That's probably because I did it with Picasa, and I thought I updated the link, but maybe I didn't. Whoops.
You said it's a quadrupedal one. Oh, I see which one you mean.
Yeah.
Well, there's the quadrupedal. I'm gonna grab that one. It looks like it's encased in a cage. So it's staying like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm kind of doing, and then inside that cage, I'm putting brain matter.
Brains.
Brains. Oh shit.
Well, last week I sculpted a massive brain here on stream. I don't know why people are asking you for brains.
Well, because your video's not that huge.
I know.
I've also done it on stream before when I was working on the Gun Beast for Marco, but it was pretty small.
And didn't we do it in one of those sculpting sessions we recorded?
And those are also not ideal.
Yeah.
I think
They're
ideal
great ones
fun
to
for
watch.
us, but what?
They're great to like be watching live, but later they're not really as helpful because there's the split screen on it. You have to try and get really big, be able to see it properly.
See, I think what we need to do if we do that again, Simon, is we both need to like record our video locally in high quality and then put it together after or something like that. But
yeah, probably.
I think I also had my old potato webcam when I was doing that last. Which we are using today. La la la, potato.
Potatoes. Shall we get into the theme of today's stream?
Yes, so before anything else explodes, let's talk about Junestealer. So Junestealer is an event that happens in June. It's focused on Genestealers. Someone in the chat asked, is it actually about Genestealers? Yes, it's actually about Genestealers. So there's like Orktober, we have November. Junestealer is the celebration of Genestealers.
Yes.
And Flynn has been leading the charge on this file for the last number of years. Thank you, Flynn. Working with other people to come up with like themes and stuff like that. Simon has contributed art. Thank you, Simon. Last year's official art was done by Simon. And yeah, this year's official art, which we have up here, that little art card, that was done by Darth Bob, who sketched it.
Good.
And then Dachande, who did the inks for it. So thank you both.
TacticalDbag.
Sorry, fuck. Thank you. Not Darth Bob. TacticalDbag, who did the sketch, and our Dachande, who did the inks for it.
Yeah. So let's just go into it. So this year's theme is traveling cultists. So that one actually, hi Simon, I have to give you thanks for that idea. Because I remember you had mentioned about like why can't we have like a cultist that travel around like a circus?
Yeah,
and that is the whole point of it. Is just the one that prompted and stuck in my brain. Also, I kind of want to have you have no excuse to not try and do a Genestealer circus or little bits of a Genestealer circus, and but it's also the other connotations. It can be like they're going from slum to slum, like your postal worker. It could be people moving from hive to hive, because I'll touch on it later, but something looks to be happening with that, in that maybe potentially the reels, but you'll have people travel from hive to hive on hive worlds, so they could actually go and spread the cults across the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you have it where cultists will leave a system right when a planet is getting invaded to try and keep the Genestealers, their cult, going, and they will travel to another planet. So how would a Genestealer travel, but also how would they get past those like checkpoints and stuff? So you've got quite a few different ideas. And as always, we have the category. So you've got conversions, you have painting, you have artwork, and then we have best overall for theme. Now, for conversions this time round, we're making it that you need to take an unpainted image to enter that side of the competition, because we want to see what work you've actually done. Because someone who can paint amazingly could paint something that they could either improve massively on their conversion work, but some people don't always paint. and we want to see what work.
Yeah, there's no
people are
stress to
doing.
paint. Like some competitions, you have to
Yeah.
paint your model. That is not the case with this one. It's not even a competition. It's just like a community event. But like,
Yeah.
don't feel any stress to have to paint your model. That is not the way of it.
Also, when the judging comes, I don't want it to be people swayed by the paint job. Like, have that little bit. The paint job makes it look even better. I want it to be based solely on the conversion itself, not with anything to do with the paint job.
Yeah.
That's why painting is its own category.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have the entry. You have to work on it during Junestealer. So I will admit, I can't take part, but competition-wise, I've done one entry to do because I want to paint it up during Genestealer. So
Yeah, like you can start something like Junestealer can be an inspiration for you to start a brand new project based on the prompt of like Genestealers moving around. It can be, oh, you finishing some other Genestealer project that you had previously started that doesn't have anything to do with Genestealers moving around. Like, just work on something that has to do with Genestealers in Junestealer. It can be related to the prompt. It can be not related to the prompt. It can be whatever you want. Just as long as you're spreading the gene seed in the month of June.
or even finishing a prompt from last year or the year before that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever finished a prompt. Like, I had some stuff that I had previously started that was like non-human Genestealer DNA, but that was an old project. I trotted back out.
I know we've had just standard Junestealer cults. We've had anything but miners. We've had Xenos DNA, Xenos hybrids, and now it is traveling cultists. So we've had 4 different years of Junestealer. This would be the 4th year of Junestealer.
Yeah, and some of the people who have like quote unquote won are people who adhered to the prompt. Some people are just people who made really cool Genestealer stuff in the month of June that didn't adhere to the prompt. So we say win, but really you're just winning bragging rights. We don't have any prizes.
Stickers.
Other than applause.
Applause and stickers, basically.
Yeah. So does anyone have any ideas of stuff they want to do for Junestealer? Does anyone have any questions about Junestealer? Flynn's gonna run it through the Warp Shadow account on Instagram. Yeah. So make sure you're following at Warp Shadow. Flynn, do you want to put a link to Warp Shadow in the chat? And then Flynn, if people are interested in entering, they should use the tag Junestealer, and they should also tag Warp Shadow in their post, right? Because the tags, the hashtags don't always work properly.
Yeah, hashtags don't work properly. If you do a reel, you must tag us in that reel, as we will. There's a high probability we will not see that reel just going to the hashtag. You need to tag us in them. So 100% use the hashtag and tag us in every post that you're doing. I won't mind about getting inundated with tags. I don't know how Nick will feel about it, but I
was gonna say every post. That seems like a lot, but okay.
Oh, we want loads. We want because we can
okay, sure,
like good collage and stuff. But it's just have fun, enjoy it, spread the word, get others involved. Welcome to Jade Finch making it for a live shit show.
Hello, Jade.
And yeah, but one of the other ones I'm going to actually say what my ideas are for this month to give some people inspiration. I am doing a rock band, which I'm calling Junestealer's Kiss, that's the one I'm going to be trying to paint up and painting them with the Kiss band makeup.
Nice.
That's going to be a bit of fun to do. And I'm also going to be doing delivery drivers on the Atalan Jackal bikes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you want more inspiration, that's just where you can start from as well.
Delivery drivers, that's smart. Knock, knock, who's there? The French kiss.
Yeah. So it's the band Kiss. And also to play on the Genestealer Kiss motif of being infected.
I like it.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Simon, you got any ideas?
Me?
Yeah.
I I'm thinking about the cult that I have, and if I would do anything, I would try to incorporate that into this part.
Yeah.
And maybe there are a few thoughts about that. Maybe a squad that is designed to leave the cult, like some sort of veteran kind of thing, who operate
Ooh, I like that.
independently. Or a well, the you no. Oh gosh. When you want to spread the Genestealer cult, what you
Yeah.
have to do is bring your pure strain with you, right?
Yep.
So how would you do that? So maybe just a large cargo box.
Ah,
That would be funny, like a
Jurassic
huge
Park style raptor crate transport thing.
Yeah, that could be fun. Or I know. I just had another idea, but it's gone. My brain sucks right now. Yeah, well, the circus idea would be cool. Oh yeah, the idea would be the thought that I had was a magus that kind of travels.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just had the impression that a magus could spread the infection as well, which he doesn't, if I recall it correctly. But
well, maybe like the magus can like spread the infection psychologically, and then once everyone's on the like, yeah, we love this guy, he's our prophet, then he brings in the pure strain.
The pure strain, yeah.
Yeah.
So having like a that would be wild, but having a Jesus magus.
Oh, okay. You're the religion teacher. You tell me if that's okay.
Yeah, like, well, there always have been like traveling preachers.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and something along those lines. Because when you look at the maguses that we have as models, they're always kind of stand out because they always have these rather very decorated, very clergy looking stuff going on.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking about, do you guys remember the this orc that had this digging gear?
I don't know if I
had
do.
Prospector.
He had this very huge hat, and he looked like he was not belonging to anyone. He was basically just traveling and digging for gold wherever he thought.
I know the one you're on about. I know the one you're on about, but the Prospector one.
Yes, like blending a prospector and a magus would be fun.
Oh,
like taking these super fashionable, super clean coats from the magus and make him look a little bit more rundown.
Yep.
A little bit more pillar saint style, something along those lines.
Yep.
Someone had done it for what's it called? The Frankendoodles Retro 40k. They had made an updated version of the orc. He's actually a named orc as well. It's just getting his name again. It's Nazgrabble. Naz
something. Yeah.
Wurzag. Nazgrab Grub Wurzag. I'll just put a link to a painted copy of the model in the chat.
Thanks.
But you're saying that I've just James Milner has thought about LOL and in regards to delivery, calling the delivery drivers working for FeedX. I was thinking of food delivery, but FeedX is quite a good one. Vardan is sort I can imagine trying to do a sort of reclaimed aberrant. It has almost all the elements of sculpt, but
sorry, you broke up there. What was that, Flynn? You were breaking up.
Reclaimed aberrant has all the elements of the normal sculpt, but adds kind of like studs and injectors and pipes and tubings. Trying to make an aberrant come across as a chem junkie convict get itself sent to underhives to infect.
Oh, like get sent to prison or something?
Or something like that, yeah. That'd be interesting. Now, there's also something,
Oh, I
there's
have
a
it.
animation, so
Sorry.
there's a hammer. Oh,
What?
I've just got one thing, but have you seen that the Warhammer TV? There's the Hammer and Bolter animated show.
Yeah.
There's an episode which is A New Life, which is episode 13 of it. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, Nick, but
I've
I'd
not,
say
no.
definitely watch it because I did get some inspiration for the theme as well from this episode.
Uh-huh.
So definitely watch that episode. So it's Hammer and Bolter, episode 13, A New Life. Because what happens is the premise of it is Tyranids attacking a planet, but that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I
Cool.
just had an idea.
Yeah.
How about a Genestealer cultist traveler agency?
Like a travel agent. That's awesome.
I was just thinking about how can we what I like Flynn's idea of incorporating something from the everyday life into the Genestealer cultist.
You're really good at that. You do that
And-
a lot.
Oh well, I'm having fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I would love to. I'm just trying to look up the name. 10 out of
7?
10 out of 7.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love to commission him to make a Genestealer cultist traveler agency on Necromunda.
Oh, yeah, because he's doing his project right now where he's like rolling up random prompts every month and he's making
Yep.
a tile. Well, we could I could reach out to him because I've messaged with him before and been like, hey, can we spike your prompt pool for June to be Genestealer something? I don't know if it has to be Genestealer Travel Agency, but Genestealer something.
The fact you mentioned about Necromunda, I think that is a good segue to the next sort of topic bit.
Oh wait, I had a segue too.
Segues all over the place.
Genestealer with a backpack. What the heck is this? Oh look, it's a Magus with a backpack.
There.
They got the preview show for Warhammer 40K coming up in 1 day! 1 day to go! And
That
there's
was my segue.
There you go. And there's a silhouette. There's 3 silhouettes in their little cheeky piece. 2 of them look very mechanical. Although the one on the left, the big one to the left of the Genestealer looking one, Stephen May, the miniature guy, he said that he's really excited for people to see that one. So I think that maybe he had something to do with that. And I'm assuming that's Necromunda because I think he did a lot of Necromunda at Games Workshop before he moved on.
So I think the actual Genestealer is the Necromunda.
You think so? But there's a
Yeah.
Genestealer called Codex coming up soon.
I know there's a Genestealer called Codex coming up soon, but I think it could be that the Genestealer is the Necromunda. The reason why I think that is the last preview bit they did a teaser for Necromunda, which looked like they were going to Hive Secundus. And Hive Secundus
It's all Genestealers.
has Genestealer cult infestation there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking it could be.
Interesting.
My main bit is it's most likely going to be for 40k with Genestealers and Sisters of Battle because they are the next 2 up for codexes from the roadmap they gave at the beginning of the year. So it is most likely to be that. But it could also be for Necromunda. And I'm looking forward to that because if anyone who follows Warbus Kurgan does the whole rumor engine stuff, where it actually pulls back, hasn't updated from the Age of Sigmar 4th edition box set for anything new. I haven't checked this afternoon,
So
there has been any updates, but it looks like any other ones are going to be from.
I'm fairly certain that that thing on the left that Stephen may have done that I think is for Necromunda, I'm pretty sure that is like the most recent rumor engine. There was like a rumor engine with like this foot with like a, I don't know, pneumatic thing behind it and like a claw. I think it's probably from that model.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, there's other ones as well. Like there's this, like, looks to be like a spider skull that has not been shown at all.
Oh, that thing they put in the preview for the preview.
Yeah, but that's from September 2022. That's the oldest one there is from the rumor engine that hasn't been.
Oh wait, that's a different. Okay, I thought you were talking about the thing where they were like, "Oh, tune in this Saturday. Here's a cheeky little thing that you're going to see," and it was a weird skull flying spider thing. You're not talking about that. You're talking about
Enslaver.
Not the Enslaver.
Oh yeah, I hope it's an Enslaver. That'd be awesome. Oh man, that means I'd have to finish my Enslaver Genestealer that I've had kicking around here forever.
I think there's going to be some, like, that on the right is definitely a Mechanicus. Now, if it's Dark Mechanicus or Adeptus Mechanicus, that's a different story.
I was actually wondering if it's going to be some kind of Titan for like Legio Imperialis.
There's been more rumors for Adeptus, even Mechanicus or Dark Mechanicus coming first, either to the Horus Heresy or 40k.
But then
so that's why there's.
So that's probably okay, but like I feel like these silhouettes probably can't all be Necromunda or can't all be 40k, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
there's rumors of Thanatar Siege Automaton, and that's what people say.
Oh wait, in plastic?
Like, in plastic.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't do it! Oh God! Don't do it! No! Don't do it!
Can we have the sign, please?
No! Don't! I need a moment. Oh God! I need a moment. Oh jeez. Oh. Thanatar Siege Automata in plastic.
Clean up an aisle pink.
That'd be hot. That'd be hot.
Really?
I was gonna say that'd be hot.
Yeah, that's the
intense.
Supposed rumors.
As much as Imperial stuff and human stuff bores me, giant monsters, giant robots I can get behind.
He's a mech boy.
I'm a mech boy.
What is it? If it's Necromunda, it may be another mark of an Ambot.
That would be weird. Well, maybe because you can't buy Ambots anymore.
Wait, really?
I thought they were sold out. Oh no, wait, maybe it's those other Ambot-looking things that are for the Palatine Enforcers. But you couldn't get those for lover money.
I get really annoyed with Workshop doing that stuff. It is like not the worst bit about them, but it's just when stuff goes out and you don't get told. But people always have to kick up a fuss when we do get told things are no longer going to be available.
Well, it's not that they're no longer going to be available. It's just that there's never any stock. They didn't cancel it. They just are not stocking it enough.
Oh, you can still back.
What?
You can still get Ambots on the website.
What?
Ambots.
No, okay, Ambots. But what about those other things? Those other, like, Enforcer, whatever robots?
I don't know. I'm trying to get... the Workshop website is not really useful anymore when you're trying to search for...
Pretty sure you can just stop it not really useful anymore.
Well, yeah, but like, you know, when you try and like open it in a new tab from like the search menu.
Yeah.
Oh no, the things that look like the aliens from Fifth Element, the gold-plated things.
Yeah,
those are still there. They're online-only orders.
Oh, they are
still
available.
there.
Okay.
30 quid for 2. Yeah, and Ambots. I did see there's 30 quid for 2 Ambots as well, and they're the Luther pattern excavation automata or Ambot for sure. But yeah, they're still there. But it's in... yeah. But the actual Ambot you can't buy.
What?
Because it was for Blackstone Fortress.
No, you're talking about the actual Ambol.
Ambol, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's me not getting the words out correctly. Yeah,
didn't they bring it back recently?
Yeah.
Simon, didn't you buy that thing?
Did. Yep. They did. They released it in that game box, but you couldn't buy that
Oh,
game box
yeah.
everywhere.
I think it was like a European thing, not even like the UK got it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think the US and EU got it.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah. Well, you got enough fancy shit over there.
Exactly. See how the rest of us live, UK.
You've got that Captain Titus box.
Oh, who
set,
cares
I
about
know
that
you
thing?
know. But I think there's a reason why that's not come out yet for the UK.
Because they're going to do it when the game comes out?
Exactly, and I think that is going to get announced next weekish when they do the Skulls announcements. So Skulls, if anyone doesn't know, is the computer game side of Games Workshop, the video game side of it, and they've called it Skulls, which also used to be known as one of their mail order systems, and they've got that on the 23rd of May at 5 p.m. British Summer Time or 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or summertime, whatever they call it. Well, 9 a.m. I should say. And that's where they go through like the Games Workshop video games coming out.
And if you're obsessed with Tacticus like me, they're going to have some Tacticus stuff there.
They do.
So I got Nora into playing Tacticus, which is this like 40k mobile game. Pretty cool, but they force you to start with Space Marines, but then you can get cool stuff after that. And yeah, what was it? We were like talking about something. Oh, she was making, what the heck was, I can't remember what she was, but she was making some joke. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, they look more like Dark Eldar. Don't want them to look like Nurgle. And I'm like, how are you making this joke right now? Like, she was basically talking about like being like bloated or whatever.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
Yeah, she's basically she's converted herself. Her love of mobile games has dragged her into 40k knowledge.
There
and then like,
you go.
so we're going to Nottingham.
We talked about this.
What?
We talked about this last stream, right? How to spread into new audiences and target groups and all that.
Yeah.
And this is a prime example.
Ooh.
Yeah, Nora is like,
think about that for later.
Anyway, she we're going to Nottingham, and like I want to take her to Warhammer World so she can see it. And she's like, do you think they're going to have any merch at Warhammer World? I'm like, they are going to have merch at Warhammer World. She's like, really? Because I think I want to get some merch. I'm like, who are you?
What have you done to my wife?
Yeah. Anyway, so there's the preview for the preview. That's going to be tomorrow afternoon, Flynn? I don't remember when it is.
6:40 is actually on the screen right now. 6:45 British Summer Time and 12:45 CDT. I don't know
Central US time.
Daylight time.
Something like that.
But yeah, so that's it. So it's a good time for me for once, for when I do one of those weird American times. But Simon, something you might find interesting, talking about branching out things. PG released a video today, a 15-minute long video about.
Sorry, we missed that, Flynn. You got garbled. Who? What?
Peachy.
Released
Peachy. Chris Peach released a video today, 50 minutes long, showing how he's now fallen in love with FrostGrave.
Ooh, surprise!
Yeah, they were talking about it on Juggz this week. Are people listening to Juggz, watching Juggz? Juggz is the new podcast from Peachy and Suggs and Rob.
Rob, the honest wargamer.
Otherwise known as the inventor of SlapChop. You're welcome.
Also, the
wait, Simon, did you just guffaw SlapChop? Because SlapChop made me the painter I am today.
You know, I've been using SlapChop before even this term existed.
Yes,
so
but you weren't doing a very good job of advertising it to everyone. Once he came up with a name for it, it was much easier to advertise to folks and like get them in on it.
Well, you know, it's a journey.
Yes. To be clear, I don't think...
Sorry, just read Tom Wilson's comment.
To be clear, I don't think Rob seems very chill about SlapChop. Like, He's not like, oh, it's my thing, I invented it. He's just like, yeah, here's a cool way to get miniatures on the table quickly. He doesn't have a big head about it.
He's also all three of them worked at Workshop as well.
Was that?
Rob's more. All three worked for Workshop, and Rob also is more interested in like the gaming side of everything. Yeah. He's not like the painting side. He's more into the actual playing of the game and trying to get things more interesting. What burst me out laughing was Tom Wilson's comment of Bkk Vader, which when that was mentioned on the last stream, completely went over my head.
Oh, you're sweet summer child.
What it means.
Sweet summer child. Tell me you did not Google that to find out what it meant.
No, I watched their.
What?
I watched I watched the podcast.
I was worried about where that was going.
And when they mentioned Bkk Vader, I was like, why does that sound familiar? And it was like, oh, that was it. And then they showed the image of it, and I have not been able to get that out of my head. Just Bkk Vader.
Just to be clear, Nick, with one thing, even if I advocated for the way I paint things, no one in the fucking world would listen.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that, like, SlapChop is definitely not something that Rob invented. SlapChop is something that Rob branded. Like, everyone, like, people were already doing it. They were doing, like, a Zenithal Prime. They were doing, like, a quick dry brush, getting it painted, but he just came up with a name for it. And it was, like, a tongue-in-cheek, like, funny name that played on that whole, like, SlapChop kitchen utensil, whatever. And what I was trying to say is that because he did that, he made it more like not the concept, but the strategy. No, he made the approach. Like he gave people something that they could Google to figure out how to paint their models quickly and easily.
He made it accessible.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at.
Absolutely agree. But still, if I would probably bet that even if I had come up with a name for that, I still wouldn't have anywhere close the reach to.
No, Rob has got some reach.
He had the reach initially to do it.
Yeah, and like to be clear, as Flynn kind of mentioned, Rob's interests very much seem to focus on like getting more people actually playing the game, and like he also does a lot of work with Jesus, what have I done? He does a lot of work with like broadcasting competitive play, like getting it on the internet for people to watch. He's like really big into like the video side of things. And he is also very big into like Age of Sigmar and now Old World. He has a podcast actually that he does with a friend of mine from high school. Well, someone I knew from high school, Val, where it's all about Old World.
It's
that's really I'm just going in detail on Rob because people might not know Rob as well as they know Peachy or Louise, Savage Orc guy, Smugden. Smugden? What have I done?
Sughammer.
Sugden.
The person who's trying to basically will steal Nick's Slaneshi content warning sign if they got half a chance, I think. Because of how unhinged they are on that podcast.
Yeah, she's pretty hilarious. She's the best part.
Oh, yeah. She's really nice in person as well.
Good.
But
I appreciate her love of the labyrinth.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no, that was something I was going to say, but it wasn't actually that.
To come back to what you said, I saw that I think it was Peachy posting his warband for
FrostGrave?
FrostGrave, yes, and I really like that. And I was surprised to see it on such a prominent site.
So what you should check out Juggz, Simon. Go on YouTube.
Looks with a Z.
Yeah, so we
don't want him to get in the wrong SEO.
They have this mad podcast they do. It's pretty funny. They talk about a lot of stuff, but in the most recent episode, I think it was episode 3 or 4, Flynn? I can't remember.
Four's the most recent, which
4.
was the show and tell episode.
Yeah, so in that one, Peachy talks about having discovered FrostGrave. But like, I don't know, I watched it, and I don't, from what he was saying, I wasn't sure if he was getting that it was like completely miniature agnostic, because he's like, oh yeah, FrostGrave. I've got some FrostGrave sprues. I'm going to make some FrostGrave sprues. I'm like, no, you can use any sprues.
I think he does mention about that in the video today.
Oh, good.
When I saw his post, you could. I'm not sure if Osprey did not just send
him them.
sunk him into
Send him a load of stuff.
Send him all their stuff.
Yeah.
So he can play around with it.
Could be.
To be honest,
because
it looks like they did
used-
in the video.
He used those sprues so freely, and using a wizard sprue for like a regular henchman and all that.
Yeah.
That's something you would probably reconsider if you kind of jumping in that full force. But talking about FrostGrave, my brother who was with us on the weekend,
Doctor
on the FrostGrave
or
weekend.
judge?
Yeah, the doctor.
Yep.
He has infected his board game group with FrostGrave. Apparently, he told me yesterday that they were most likely going to play the co-op version of it.
Yep.
Which I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, because when I was at your event in Germany, my first game was with your brother, and he was like, oh yeah, I've never played FrostGrave before, but then he knew like all the rules. Like, I was like, I think this is what we do. He's like, no, actually, this rule says this, that. I'm like, dude, I thought you were supposed to be new.
Yes. Well, I think the problem is that my brother has all the smarts that my parents had to offer. He got them all. And he picks up stuff very quickly and very easily. And
when he's not doctoring, he's dedicating his doctor smarts to other things, like FrostGrave.
For example, yes.
Sweet. I'm glad he's embracing it and that he's bringing his friends along.
Yeah. And I really enjoy that he's doing more hobby.
Yep.
Because he kind of used to, but then his friends, got distracted and all that. And Because
Nice.
then I always have to talk, have a topic with him, which is great.
Nice.
Yep.
So Juggz is just like general Warhammer stuff. It's the three of them. It's pretty funny. There's some wild stuff in there. The thing that Flynn was talking about with the Bkk Vader, and that was it Tom Wilson who commented about that? They went
Tom Wilson, yeah.
Because like Louise and Rob and this other guy Tom, who's their sculptor, they are the ones who are making Louise's what is it called? Rascal Town. She's doing her own she calls it a miniature line, but they're kind of like larger scale for miniatures. But
oh yeah, they're like
they're like so her Rascal Town stuff, they 3D print them and then they sell the prints. So they're not giving people STLs, but giving people actual 3D prints.
Well,
what?
There is something they are now doing with STLs, but I'll let you continue and I'll explain the STL bit in a bit.
Okay. So yeah, they're doing because they're doing Rascal Town, they went to this show all about 3D printers and machines and stuff like that. Mac. It's some exhibitor
MACH
exhibitor thing where they show off all these huge machines for doing amazing stuff. And in one of those machines, it was a steel milling machine. So they you have a block of or aluminum, maybe aluminum milling machine. So the block of aluminum spins around really, really fast, and they carve out what you want to make. But the problem is if you're carving metal really, really fast, it gets really hot. So there's water cooling, spraying this thing constantly while it's being carved out of the aluminum block. Yeah. And they were carving out a Darth Vader bust because, make it, you know, something that everyone knows, in this
Yep.
machine, and they just saw this poor Darth Vader head just getting sprayed in the face with this huge jet of water. They referred to it as Bkk Vader, and they were like, they were doing like the audio. They're like, oh yeah, Darth Vader's just like,
The best bit about that little bit is the guy comes up to them, who's the stall they're at. So what business do you guys do? Are you, this is like, if you didn't understand a word I said, we're not the stall for you.
yeah. These guys were like, we think we're big, we're hard with like 3D printing and miniature land, but they were talking about like how some of these 3D printing companies, they like print things with paint, like with paint on them.
Yeah.
So they like printed a banana, and while it was being printed, it was being painted with the however the print works. And then they just took a sticker and they put it on it, like from a normal banana, and it looked exactly like a banana. Like they showed a picture, and I was like, that is a banana. I can't believe it. So really like next level stuff. So that was really interesting to hear about.
My printer friend.
Yep.
He has family member who owns a large printer company.
Yep.
And so he is able to go along to those fairs.
Yep.
And he said the last fair he has been to was in Germany.
Yep.
And he said it was straight incredible what they did. For example, what these printers are doing these days. For example, there was a drone, like a military drone, that will fly around, do its stuff, and has a printer on board.
What?
Yes, to print stuff that it needs in different situations.
That's amazing.
For example, it can repair itself with the stuff it prints while flying around.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And that was the point where I was kind of frightened.
Yeah. You're like, oh, Skynet is real. Machines have won.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bit was...
Don't have to worry about... Someone said, don't worry about climate change. Skynet will get us first.
So the bit I was going to say about the STLs for Rascal Town Hobbies. So
oh, they're printing bases or something, aren't they? Are they giving STLs for bases?
So they've actually talked about doing like scenic bases.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows like the scenic bases that they done for a lot of the Horus Heresy Primarchs and other Horus Heresy characters.
Yeah.
I know Space Marines is the easiest example I've got.
Horsey Heresy. Yep.
Horsey Heresy. They've actually done one for their number 4 rogue hobbies, which was the pirate one, which had a backstory of
Rascal Town. It's called Rascal Town.
The goblin. Yeah. Which they was like, well, had a ship, but no one ever believes it had a ship, and it was like the whole bit of how they lost the ship. With, if you may have seen it, the frog with a rubber ring around it, and that's what's on the scenic base.
What?
And so if you actually have a look at the teaser image that Louise posted, there is a frog, the rubber ring, the rubber dinghy, life ring, whatever you want to call it, in water on the actual scenic base.
You broke up there. I can't really understand what you're saying, but there's a frog or something.
Yeah. And she said that spawned memes in her Discord. So it is just they are branching out, but you have to purchase the model first of all to then get
the base.
The base, yeah. The STL file to get the base.
Yeah.
But speaking of people doing STL files, have you heard about what's the name of it? HydraCast.
Oh, I saw someone post in our Discord that HydraCast is now offering STLs.
So yeah, so what HydraCast said they're doing is, well, because obviously HydraCast is based in Russia.
Yeah.
and there are other hobby companies that are based in Russia, and they've fallen foul of what Putin is doing, and so they're kind of screwed. They've branched out into different areas, and one of the places they've done is they're still creating the new Xenos models, alien creatures, and they're going to start selling them as STL files, so you can get them or still try and get physicals from them. But also, they're going to start doing their back catalogue, so you can purchase specific things from their back catalogue. So I know you've used some of their models in the past, Nick.
Yeah.
So they may do certain things. Like I know
he very kindly sent
we
me.
talked about them. Yeah, I bought things from them in the past as well. So I know there's certain things from there they've done that I really do like, but it's just getting the whole bit for me is not worth it. Not because I don't want the whole
Well,
thing's
yeah,
not
like
great.
I've used their
I want that specific bit.
I've used their Tyrant Guard bits, but I don't use the legs. Like I just use the body.
Yeah.
And the head, and like I can't remember. I use one of the arms. So I can understand like wanting to use their bits to convert, but not necessarily needing the whole kit.
And we did go into this in great detail on the 3D sculpt stream.
Yeah, I also there's one stream where like I review HydraCast models. If you just like search like Creature Conference, I think it's Creature Conference HydraCast. I unbox some of their models, including the guard model that I used. Just like talk about how I feel about their models. Like a review unboxing conversion thing.
Yeah. There we go, got it. I'm gonna post that in the chat as well.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now this is going to be the worst segue possible.
Wait! I got a segue.
Yeah, good. I don't have a good segue.
So we're talking about rogue hobbies, and wait, I don't know why I still have this thing up. Oh, we could talk about Skaven, but really, I'm kind of bored by the Skaven models. Like we can do a quick spin through here. Simon, did you see the new Skaven models?
No.
Don't bother. They're okay. I like the characters. I think the characters are really cool. Like, to be clear, I've never played Warhammer Fantasy. I don't play Age of Sigmar. I only buy Age of Sigmar models when they're cool conversion fodder for other stuff. But like, I've always had a soft spot for Skaven. I've always thought they were kind of cool. This boss dude on a rat, he's pretty sick. Simon, I think you would like the rat. It's pretty gross and falling apart and stuff.
The big rat, yeah.
Yeah, I think he looks great. And then the Grey Seer, I swear this is just like a one-to-one copy of like a Codex cover somewhere. I think I've seen art that looks exactly like this, and I think he looks awesome.
As you said, I like the big rat, but the rider is just a random regular Steve with nothing spectacular going on.
He's fine. But the thing that most disappointed me was the Rat Ogres, because I really wanted some tasty Rat Ogres. But these are the Rat Ogres we got.
What I like about the Grey Seer is that you can probably pretty easy put him on the bell.
Yes. Definitely.
On the bell, because he already is standing on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Rat Ogres for me are the most disappointing part, because anyone who knows me knows I like a Flesh Hulk. For Homunculus Coven purposes, for Genestealer cult purposes. Like, you can never have too many fleshy Hulks, but they just, like, all their limbs seem really short and fat. Their bodies seem like these big, bulgy, like, balls, kind of.
They're worse than the Island of Blood Rogers.
Yeah, the Isle of Blood ones were better than this, I think.
Yeah, these are just terrible. Like, the Island of Blood are just so much better, and like, why?
I would not say that they're terrible compared to other things, but they look very uninspired and very undynamic.
Yeah,
and compared to the I would already almost say exquisiteness of the previous models. I know they're boring, as in we have seen them so often before.
You mean the storm vermin, the big rat dudes with the weapons on their arms?
No, just the two like the two characters we've seen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Showed.
Yeah.
Compared to those, they, we have. I think they are not as exciting to us because we have seen them so often.
Rat
For
ogres?
example, the Gracier.
I'll
Oh,
rephrase.
now I'm
I'm talking
understanding.
about the heroes
Okay, yeah.
we have just seen. So they look like we have seen them over and over before.
Yes.
And these Rat Ogres do exactly look like the Rat Ogres that we have seen before. There's nothing spectacular new about them.
Yes.
And they have this, as you said, almost ball-like quality to them, which they
Yeah.
had before. So while the rat, the dude on the rat, that rat is very delicate and
Yes.
very exquisite.
Yes.
And these rat ogres compared look almost dumb.
Yeah.
And uninspired.
Yeah.
I want to just add to my point. I agree with what you're saying about the models that they look very similar to what we had before, which I completely agree. For me, it's the fact that we had the Island of Blood, which came out in 2010. These Rat Ogres don't look as good as those Rat Ogres that came out in 2010.
Where are the Isle of Blood Rat Ogres? Isle of Blood Rat.
Oh yeah, because they were way more dynamic.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
and
damn, these models are good. They're not actually, no, the Isle of Blood Rat Ogres are not at all dynamic. They're very like two-dimensional, but they're great.
But yeah, and what we say is these other Skaven that we've got are very similar to what we already have, which you said, Simon, which I 100% agree with. There is just something that I don't know if it's nostalgia that's making me prefer the Island of Blood guys, but it is. They were better, in my opinion. You had these strong vermin.
I know why.
Rats.
I know what the deal is with them.
Yes.
The old ones are even more over exaggerated.
Yeah, smaller legs, bigger arms, big muscular torsos.
Yeah, but they have more like a V shape.
Yep.
And those arms are ridiculously long.
Yes.
And those hands are ridiculously massive.
Yes.
And I think that's their quality. And when you compare them to the new ones kind of want to have a like almost a believable proportion.
Yeah.
And what you always have to think about is that if it is for the old world, you always have to be able to stand them in a unit.
Oh, it's not an old world. This is for Age of Sigmar.
No, but I get what Simon's saying about in fantasy that you had to rank them up.
Yeah.
They just it's that these new ones look too busy, is what it is as well. The old ones, they didn't look too busy, and I think that is a problem Games Workshop is coming into. If they're trying to put too much detail in, which is making things look too busy, which actually doesn't make them look as good as their older models.
Which
I know that is a different question for another stream, I think.
Sure. Yeah, so I was really excited to get some Rat Ogres because I love the Storm Vermin. I know people don't love some people are mad about the Storm Vermin. Or wait, Storm Fiends. Skaven Storm. Some people are mad about these big burly boys with their big burly armor. I am not mad about these big burly boys with their big burly armor. Oh, right, screw off, Games Workshop. Yeah, like I've used these Storm Fiends. They don't look like Rat Ogres. They look like weird super armor Skaven. I get it, but I've used them for Grotesques or Homunculus Coven, and they're big enough that you could even like use one as like a Talos. Like they're huge. So I think these are decent, but I know people don't love them. But I do see the appeal of the Island of Blood. And like I pulled up this Reddit post, and this is from 2 years ago, and the guy says, "Still think how these Rat Ogres were never released on their own and look way better than the ones currently on Games Workshop's website. Will we ever see these again?" And I think some people might still be thinking that when they see these new Rat Ogres. They're like, why can't we just have Isle of Blood?
Sometimes the starter sets are amazing. Like it to go to 40k for it. The Orc Death Copters.
Yeah.
Never saw them again until what?
Yeah, let's not kick this dead
Year and a
horse
half
because
ago.
we've been over it a couple of times. But yeah, their Games Workshop has a weird habit of making cool models in a release box and then never releasing them.
Yeah.
And it's sad that that was what happened to the Rat Ogres because they were cool models. And I think the even sadder part is from what we can like kind of deduce from what we saw from the Tyranids and Leviathan. These Rat Ogres are all the Rat Ogres we're ever going to get. They're probably going to release them in like a box where you can build, they're on a separate sprue. They can just like put that sprue in a box, sell them. I don't think there's going to be any more Rat Ogres.
Those are very unlikely to return, even though there's a very small possibility they may ever do that whole old world box sets like they did with
Oh, yeah, good point.
40k. But I just don't think they do it with Skaven because of Skaven are not in the old world. But then again, this was the last starter box set, so they've got a longer period of time
Well,
to
no,
get
but like
towards
they
that box set.
re-released Battle from a Crag, right?
But again, those two factions are still playable in the current army. But there's the
Oh,
old world's got a whole different thing to it. Of Skaven are not one of their factions. Like Dark Eldar are not one of their factions. Lizardmen are not one of their
Well,
factions, so it
now,
limits them. Right now,
but
yeah.
if you wait a bit, I think GW will be dumb to not just roll down the history line and just repeat everything over.
I
yeah,
want
they could
to
just print
agree with
money.
you. I want to agree with you, but I have a feeling they're going to edge themselves with the Great Chaos War before Magnus the Pious becomes the new emperor
I have
of
no
the
idea what
empire.
any of the things you just said mean, but okay, sounds great.
Basically, right now you've got a civil war in the empire, the Warhammer Fantasy Empire.
This is an
And
old
so three
world?
factions, this is an old world, so three factions are fighting against each other.
Yeah.
What basically stops them fighting against each other is a chaos incursion from the north, which Magnus the Pious ends up becoming the new emperor. So this is 300 years before Karl Franz even is born, or whatever it is. So they've
Sure.
got 300 years before even the old world happened. The Warhammer Fantasy happened. They've got 300 years to play with before they
Yeah.
even get to the end
Oh,
times
okay,
again.
I see where you're going. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So
why it's a
they
slow
will rather
progress.
flesh out that time span
Yeah.
and invent new things. Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd love it to be what you said, Simon, but I just know with Games Workshop, we don't want to double things over for different things. We want you to only use these for this faction, this
Yeah.
game system, with all the money. But Tom Wilson does say, though, in the thing, they might buy a Skull Pass if they remake that box set, the Battle for Skull Pass.
What was that one?
I would.
Oh, is
That
that
was
the
the dwarfs.
orcs and the death angel? Blah, blah, dark angels?
No, that is what you were thinking of Warhammer 40k, and you are mixing Dark Vengeance, which was Dark Angels versus Chaos Space Marines, with the 5th edition box set,
Oh,
which was
which
Battle for
was
Black Reach, which was Orcs versus
orcs.
Space Marines.
Okay.
The one that Tom
Wow.
Wilson is on about is Warhammer Fantasy's 6th edition box set, I believe, which was Dwarfs versus Orcs, which came with the captured
Oh, they were
player.
just night goblins, right?
Night Goblins with a troll and a
Yeah.
Night Goblin TP hut, a set of 8, no, 10, I think 12 Dwarf Miners or 8 Dwarf Miners, I can't remember which. A
Simon, was this
cannon.
when you were working for Games Workshop? Is that why you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my starter set for fantasy as well. That's how I know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I was looking for some really awesome Skaven models. I think the Skaven models are like they're perfectly cromulent. They're serviceable. They look good for Skaven, but they very much look like for me, Eldar Guardian effect. Let's take the existing models, let's make them HD and not change much. And if Darth Bob was here, he would tell me that I'm an idiot for wanting anything more, and that what we need is perfectly Skaven models. But I'm always looking for something weird and different. I'm the kind of guy who's like, Age of Sigmar sounds good. Look at all these weird models. I'm down. I'm not the guy who's like, no, bring back old world, woo! But so I'm not the audience, but whatever. That's how I
also
feel.
I think they've shown off too much stuff early on before we got the previews.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
So they showed off like, this is what's here, this is this bit, this is this bit for the new things coming.
Oh, like showing like
And we
one
were
model
like-
at a time?
Yeah, but also, yeah, but like they didn't do it as much as they did for Leviathan box starter set.
See, I didn't feel like they did
Or
it as
last
much. Felt like they did it more for Leviathan as well, but I don't know.
But also, we're not the audience for it.
Right.
We're more 40k centric.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
We're not going to be as interested in it anyway.
You're right.
Now, I know there is something Simon did want to speak about, so I want to get onto that point. I know it's not even my channel, but
What
I want to make sure.
what about our rant about paints?
We could do that afterwards. I want to make sure Simon gets his point.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Simon.
Okay. I made a little tease, so that's probably why Flynn is interested in that.
Yeah, that's why.
I've just recently started to doodle around. So how am I going to make this? I'm going to do it like this way. I hope that kind of works.
Hold on, let me check. One sec. Just in the
Or
middle of
do you wanna
doing
grab-
something.
Oh, yeah. So, thinking.
One sec. Oh, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm very happy with how this is turning out. Is this webcam going to cooperate? It's shitty webcam.
Oh no, your webcam's really good actually.
It is. It
I've
looks
been
very
able to-
fuzzy for me.
Oh no, I've got bad eyesight anyway, but it's good enough for me.
Well,
Chat, what
your
do you
mic is
think?
not so, or your laptop is not so great, Flynn, because you're like, oh,
That's
Anyway.
the fifth member. The fifth member's having fun today.
I got this cool cage thing on my brain, and I'm extremely excited about how it's turning out. It's from the back piece from Catacross, the Osiark Bone Reaper dude. Anyway, super happy. All right, now that I've got that out of the way, let's get rid of these Blood Bowl, Blood Island, Blood Ogres that we're never going to see. Storm Fiends, you beautiful boys. Drown the mortal rems in mediocre Skaven. Okay, I'm going to make your thing big,
Nick,
Simon.
Sorry?
That's
Can you name
what she
what
said.
type of spore mine that is, chat? Chat, can you name that spore mine before Simon says what type of spore mine that is?
First of all, let's have Simon talk about what he's sketching here. Don't give the answer away,
Sorry.
Simon, but what tell us more. What are we looking at here?
I'm just doodling bullshit together, and probably no one knows that at some point I have set up a Spreadshirt account, and I was never really convinced by that whole thing, but I just load up sometimes shit for fun there.
Mhm.
And the fun part is that you don't necessarily get just shirts. You get all kinds of weird stuff from mugs to, you can even get baby
Clothing?
baby clothing or pillows or all kinds of, like, almost every textile product you can imagine you can print on. You can even have handbags there.
Handbag. Oh wow,
so-
okay.
What I really like are those they're like gift bags from cloth, and I really like the idea to put dice in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I set up this account and no one, I think I posted a link once on my Instagram, so no one knows that it exists, but now I want to make it a little bit more public. So because I drew these and I really like them. So these are basically just spore mines. I made goofy spore mines with eyes. Oh, that's work.
Nice. So that's number one. So what's your guess for number one, chat? Do you know what spore mine number one is? Hint. You will need to be aware of 3rd edition? Were these around in 4th edition still, or did they get rid of them in 4th
Yeah,
edition?
I think so as well.
Or 5th edition as well. These spore mines.
They've been around for a
6th
while.
edition actually.
There was
as
a
well.
time when we had different kinds of spore mines, not
Right.
just giant ones that look like Master Chief and could dwarf a Space Marine.
these spore mines were still just before the beginning of 10th.
What? Really?
Yeah. Because they were packaged with the
Well, the Biovore.
Biovore, which came out midway through 4th edition at the Battle of Medusa 5. That Biovore, the one with the longer barrel, which replaced the other one that came out of 4th edition with the shorter barrel.
No, that was 3rd
Well, that one
edition,
came out
that
in 3rd edition.
Biovore.
That one I think because the design is so basically similar. I just think that I thought they were the same edition, but I know it's not the 2nd edition. But that's how long those were still available for. Actually, no, I tell a lie. They are still available. Those
Really?
type of bioacid, yes.
You gave it away.
Tyrannocyte, the Tyrannocyte. I didn't know that was the other one. Someone said bioacid anyway in the chat to refer to a different one. The spore mines are actually still available.
Oh, yeah, the
but
plastic Tyrannocyte spore mines are the different classes, right?
As well as the Harpy and the Hive Chrome. They are plastic variations, but they still have the design elements of them. Sorry, that is me just being really nerdy now, and I don't care.
That's fine. That's why we have you here. So, number 1, what was the guess? Bioacid?
So only Moon T4 said bioacid.
Is that correct? Was the first one bioacid?
Can you just go back to it to make sure?
What's the previous one, Simon?
I'm confused by the...
No, we didn't see that one yet. That one. No. That one's poison.
No. So that first one, I actually can't remember.
That's a poison.
It's either... Hang on. Give me 2 seconds.
No, we don't need it. I know what it is.
What is it?
Yeah, I know
It's a poison mine.
Look at us being alternate pros. I just love these spore mine things, and they look weird, and they have these large eyes. And
yeah. Cool. Let's see the third one. Oh man, these are great.
Does anyone know what the third is? I know exactly what the third is.
Pretty sure that this is that this had the rules of frag grenades, and everyone.
Yes,
just
you're right.
Yeah,
that's the frag mine.
That's the frag one. Everyone actually no, everyone used the bioacid one because it was actually the strongest one out.
Yeah, the
of all
bioacid one could chew through Space Marines. It was only strength 3, but the AP was high.
It was D6 wounds as well. 4th edition was like D6 something for it, or D3 something.
Man, this was back when I actually played with with Tyranids and knew the rules. Holy cow!
All my penetration it had. That was what it was.
Yeah, it could penetrate Space Marine armor, but it didn't have very good strength. It was like a 5+ to wound.
It was also when AP was the AP was what armor the maximum armor it could ignore. So if you were AP3. Anything that had a 3+ armor save or worse was ignored. Not now of it has armor penetration 3 to take 3 off their armor save.
Yeah, which is the 2nd edition, which used to be armor save modifiers.
Yeah.
This comes back around.
When I when I look at these, I don't know if anyone actually wants to wear stuff like that, but I find it terrifically funny having like a baby
with a spore mine on
like
them.
That. Yeah. Yeah, so I have other weird stuff there. So yeah, that's what I wanted to plug here.
Thanks.
And I will, these are so much fun, and I think I will continue to draw them.
Yeah.
And maybe have someone wear a cylinder or be the Halloween edition spore mine or something like that. So
Simon,
there will be 2 things. One is this spreadshirt thing, but I'm also considering to have them printed as stickers and have them just as sticker packs.
I vote for stickers.
I vote for both.
I will get on that.
Well, the one thing is, one thing doesn't cost me anything. So spreadshirt is, if they sell any prints, I get like a small piece of,
the pie.
morsel.
Yeah.
And if I print sticker packs, I would have to pay them up front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I have found a sticker printer that I'm happy with, I will probably do that.
Sweet.
Because it's still somewhat in a achievable range. But
Nice.
Like you could have a Warp Shadows spreadshirt thing, or
What?
otherwise, or like if you think about it, with Spreadshirt, you could have it where people go like, I like that Junestealer or that Warp Shadow or Nidvember theme. What if, as long as we have permission from the original artist to do so.
So
That that's a different conversation, but I'm just saying it's like
I was telling Simon
simple
about this.
thing.
I'm not someone who buys a lot of graphic tees, so I'm not
That's
really.
that's the bit with Spreadshirt. It's made to order, so
Where?
you get a kickback.
By who?
That's the other bit I understand. Like, it's finding out how they actually produce everything, where the t-shirts are produced, all that. I understand. Ethically, you are way more concerned about. So this is more of a. It's a good idea, but
Yeah.
that
No, it's a
more
good idea.
research
I
needs
just
to be
don't know
done.
if I would pursue it. But
Yeah.
like
well,
Simon, yeah.
I ordered
Baby
there.
grow.
I actually ordered there because my kids wanted to have or there was a thing at the kindergarten and they wanted to have custom t-shirts with custom designs.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we can try this out because printing it locally is something, but it's always, especially with kindergarten, it's always a question of money. And I was surprised by the quality. So
Yeah.
my kid is running around with that shirt for half a year now.
Yeah.
And the print is still flawless.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Good.
So that was one thing I was very concerned about, that the print would easily come off.
Yep.
But yeah, apparently their quality is good enough to withstand half a year of kindergarten. Because
pretty
it's
good,
one of his
actually.
favorite shirts, you can imagine.
Is this the dolphin one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There was a segue in the middle of that, and I've completely
Oh,
forgotten. Oh, signatures stuff. Was it signatures? Signatures.
Hold on. I was gonna say that so people I've understood that people like graphic tees.
Yeah.
And when I did the last run of Warp Shadow graphic tees, I just wanted to do it as like a fun thing for folks who were on the Warp Shadow blog forum, and then like it turned out that a lot of people were interested in it. So that's why I went and sourced an artist to do the new Warp Shadow graphic tees. I'm in the process of getting them printed right now. So they're shirts that are made in Canada. They're being printed like a 20-minute drive outside of Toronto by someone who's related to one of my friends from my wargaming club. So I like being able to like buy it local, support local, and then ship it out rather than just like slap it up on a website somewhere. So yeah, they're gonna be available soon. But just wanted to plug that because right now I'm going through the whole like proof process with the printer, and I should be getting that proof today, and then I can review it, and then the first batch will be going to Patreon people who already said they wanted them. And yeah, and hopefully it all goes well, and then I can put up the new ones like probably like they'll be available like mid to late June probably for anyone who's interested.
Link to the Patreon is in the description.
Yes, in the description for this video. Although now it's a little like there's a special offer for Patreon people, but I kind of made it. I made the offer and I asked people to get me their sizes so that I could order their sizes in this first run. So I'm gonna get a couple of extra sizes, but other than that, they'll have to wait for like the main run, which will be available to Patreon people, and I'll probably give them the discounted Patreon rate. But yeah, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, you could head on over to Patreon and check that out.
Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you are in the chat. We know you've subscribed because this is a subscriber-only chat.
Yes.
You do not miss out on just there's no negative to subscribing. It just means you don't miss us in the future.
Yeah. And so there's been a bit of pause on like me putting out videos that aren't streams, but I'm trying to get back into the like I had some stuff, my video editor had some stuff, I think we're both coming through stuff. So the hope is that there will be more like tutorial videos, other kind of videos showing up soonish. So good time to be subscribed.
Do you have time for the last little bit, or do you not, Nick?
Where we rant about how there's too much paint in the hobby?
Well, you could rant about paint in the hobby. I could rant about I don't like to paint. And Simon can rant about something about paint.
Yeah, so we're like, I should probably get going soonish, but we started a little late, so maybe I'm gonna go a little late. Flynn was mentioning to me a thing about paint, because if you're not aware, we were talking earlier about Rogue Hobbies, Rascaltown, Savage Orc guy, otherwise known as Louise. She also known as co-host of Juggz. She recently did a signature series line with my favorite paint manufacturer, Monument Hobbies, otherwise known as Pro Acryl or Pro Acryl. I never know how to call it. I think it's Pro Acryl. So yeah, Louise did some paints for that, and my good buddy Ironbeak Mercenaries was at Adepticon, and I saw her colors, and I was like, well, you know, I want to get the pink, and I want to get this color, but I don't know if I need the yellow, blue, and green. And then I was like, oh, damn it. The yellow, blue, and green are basically the colors of my logo. I'm like, okay, I'm getting these paints. So, so Ironbeak got me the paints from Adepticon. He shipped them to me. Very sweet of him. Thank you, Ironbeak. And then, yeah, so that's pretty cool. But then, like, Peachy and Louise posted about how they're part of this, what is it called? Forge paint?
Color
paint?
Forge.
Color Forge.
Color Forge.
They're
Which is
like,
basically spray paints.
There's spray paints, but maybe there are other paints, and there's going to be signature paints. And like, Flynn was telling me about this, and I was like, oh god, can we please stop having like more paint lines? Because I think it's cool the way that Monument does it. Well, I'm biased. First off, I'm biased because I love Monument. But I think it's cool the way that Monument does it, because they like will take an artist and they'll pick like five or six. I think it's six. Six paints or six colors that that artist really loves and like uses a lot, and they'll put them in a box, and that's the signature series. And you can like buy those six paints. You can buy them individually after a while. At first, they're just available like in the box together, and then they become available separately. And I've bought those before. Like I have some of Vince Venturella's. I have some of Ben. God, I don't know what Ben. I don't know what Ben's name is. Is it Ben Kometz? Maybe.
I think that's my call. Sorry.
Okay.
That's it.
I have some of his paints just because like they're colors I like, and like that's cool. But then like everyone loves Duncan. Duncan came out with a line of paints, and like, do we really need a whole new line of paints? And like the dropper bottles were not amazing. And then like, I don't know, it just feels like everyone's thing is like, I'm gonna make a line of paints. Do we need more paint? I don't think we need more paint. There's too much paint out there. Vallejo has all the paint in the world. AK has all the paint in the world. Friggin' Monument is the only paint you should buy because it's damn cool. And they're beautiful bottles, and they come with agitators, but Army Painter's got all kinds of paint. Like, I feel like we're reaching paint saturation. And I was in my my favorite local hobby shop, Wheels and Wings, recently, and they were telling me that they're getting into Monument. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Monument paints. I'm like, that's cool, but I seriously wasn't gonna ask you guys to get Monument paint, because they already have like Ravel. They used to have testers. I think they got rid of testers. They have Tamiya. They have Vallejo. They have like AK. Like they've got Games Workshop, Army Painter. They've already got all this paint. Like, do we really need more paint? So that was my rant about paint.
So with I do know what you're saying. So Colorforge, I've looked at their website. It is the only paints they do are rattle can sprays.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So
interesting. Okay, so that's kind of a new niche.
So it's different ones. So, and also it's one rattle can per person. So you've got Peach, he's got one. You've got Pete the War Gamer. You've got Valrak, Louise, and loads of other ones like this Midwiddle Minis ones. He's got ones as well. I can't remember all the others. I don't care enough to remember all the others. I know I've seen it, but I don't know all their colors. Someone's got a nice red as well. But for me, I like it because it's the rattle can.
Yeah, that is different. That is something where a place where we don't have that much variety.
And that's a key point for me, I think, because if you've got horde armies, like if you play a lot of like orcs, of Tyranids,
Yeah.
you play Horde. There is no getting around it. You are a Horde army because you've got lots of stuff to paint.
Yeah.
And Games Workshop used to do the Caliban green paint. They don't do that anymore as a rattle can. They do it as an airbrush, but not everyone can afford to get an airbrush.
They do it as an
and-
airbrush in a paint pot.
Yeah, as an air paint.
Not a
Yeah,
dropper bottle. Never in a dropper bottle in a paint pot.
exactly.
Please
And
God, get dropper
not-
bottles. If I have to see any more
not-
people complaining about spilled Nuln oil, I don't care. You should have put it in a dropper bottle years ago.
And also, you don't have some people can't afford to buy a compressor or an airbrush
Yes, of
because
course.
they are an investment for them. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
And you need the space, you need the everything else for it. You can't just go, I'm going to get an airbrush and have an airbrush. You
Yeah.
have to make a space that fits for it.
Absolutely.
Now, rattle cans, you can go outside, you can get your base coat done, and you can get it done to the color you need. Because if you just do the normal ones from Games Workshop, if you're painting yellow, you really just want to rattle can prime it as yellow to cut out a lot of that hard work. That's why I do like Color Forge for it. But I understand it's like the fact they've had to go to these creators that people know to build this paint range.
Well, no, it's smart. It's smart. It's really smart.
It's
on
very
Colorforge.
smart
Because
but
it's like, you know this person, you like their art, and then you go to Peachy because Peachy teaches you how to paint. And then Peachy's like, hey, check out Colorforge. You can get spray cans in different colors. Like, I would not be aware of Colorforge. Well, I think on Darkened Wings had some stuff that was sent to them by Colorforge.
Making my point for me.
What?
It makes it easier for me. You're making my point for me.
Well, okay.
It's this they said they're not as a big company. They've built up. I heard about them, wasn't too sure. So I picked up some of the stuff at Salute, and now you've got like these other well-known creators working alongside them.
Yeah.
It actually lends weight to them being actually a decent. I've actually used their Renegade Green, which is they're similar to Caliban Green, and they actually have a color comparison to Games Workshop paints because they know Games Workshop are the main paints everyone starts off with.
Yeah.
And it's really it matches exactly.
Sweet.
It is a really good. We're not really in any way sponsored by them, but they are good. And the fact they have to use creators to branch out to be more known isn't really, for me. I feel that's a disservice.
So they're not using them. They're collaborating with creators.
Yeah, I can't get the words. I do appreciate giving me the right word. I just feel it's like this company should be able to speak for itself, but because of how saturated the market is with all of the other paint companies,
saturated.
They can't.
Using some color language there. Saturated. Well done.
Oh yeah. I just feel it's like it needs to be done, and they are using the right places and the right people to do it. And you're not they're readily available. You're not having to get them into a little pack of. You're getting all these colors which you don't really need, and also it means Nick here's got to get another pink because it fills two niches for him from Louise, and it's a pink.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and I'm not gonna get mad at a pink. Like, I'm glad Louise's is a pink, but I don't know that I need to spray prime anything pink, but maybe I do.
We'll never know.
I'll never know. Well, I guess I could use it to like do the extremities on my nids, but like I use an airbrush for that. I'm fortunate to have an airbrush and have a place where I can airbrush.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's why I do think that the rattle cans is good. Like Vasim says, yeah, that's what's interesting. I don't want to buy GW rattle cans, but I don't have an airbrush. Also, which I did mention to you earlier, Nick.
Yeah.
The rattle cans are directly from Colorforge. Now I did get them at Salute. It was £12 for a single rattle can, and it was 3 for 30. They are also 500 mils of whatever mix they have inside.
Oh, so they're
whereas
larger?
Games Workshop is 400 mils.
Oh.
So it's actually a taller can. You are
Nice.
getting more spray for less money. Now, this isn't us saying you should always go to these places, but this this is just my own personal experience of seeing that, knowing how much I have to paint. It is already well, there is contrast, but I know I don't trust contrast with my conversions and sculpting,
You
with how
don't
it's
trust
reacted.
contrast?
I've had too many instances where I have.
What kind of like conspiracy theorist are you? You don't trust contrast. That's the only
No,
reason I get
it's,
anything painted.
No, but it's when I've sculpted, I don't know if I'm putting too much on the back of my tools or anything for the Nivea, but I do, after it's done, I wipe it off. I just get pooling. Of my contrast just pulls back together. So I don't know what's happening, but when I do it
What's
with
your
normal
primer?
painting, yeah, but it's, even with the primer, I've done it with different versions and it just still gives me the same different rattle cans, different colors of rattle cans, and I still get that pooling.
After you prime your models, do you handle them? Or are they mounted on bases? When you're painting them, are they in your hands?
Oh no, that's the bit is I've primed it, I left it for a day, didn't touch it at all. Went to paint that first bit where I did the sculpting on, pulled it straight away. First thing it did was pull.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So
I'm
I'm
sorry
like,
you're
I
having
don't
that
know
problem
what's
because I have
happening.
not had that problem.
So what I do, but if I do it without contrast, it goes on naturally and it's all fine. So for me, these rattle cans are going to be so much better for me to get painting because I don't have to worry about contrast pooling. Contrast normally is brilliant on just my normal builds, where I've got tons of termagants to paint up, which are just standard build, nothing special, no sculpting or anything done to them. Any
Yeah.
conversions, no sculpting done, perfect. Contrast will work easy for me. Anything where I've done sculpting, no, that is going to be old school painting methods for me. And
Interesting.
I'm happy to do that, but it's just that's what I've learned with how I've sculpted.
That
I might
sucks
have put
because I
too
would be
much.
so slow if I couldn't use contrast.
Oh, I do a lot of dry brushing, so it's easy.
Yeah, good. All right, I gotta go. Simon's not here. He's off
No.
doing stuff, but I've already pushed past what I said I was gonna stop at. Take a final spin through the chat. Talking about
Diana, pink is a great base, and Zenithal for yellow. Obsidian,
Yep.
sadly for me, I've just looked up $8 prices. It's more expensive rattle can, but the 100 mil of difference, I think, more than makes up for it. I'll keep the Color Forge in mind. Now they're bookmarked. Definitely go to a third-party seller. You can get cheaper from them. So I've got to bite the bullet to do trips to Bunnings, which I know is like a big sort of like retailer in Aussie. Putin says, yeah, that's what's interesting, and I don't want to buy GW wrap cans, but I don't have an airbrush. Jade Finch, always good to be here. I have plenty of paints, and I don't need more. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have way too much paint
Exactly.
that I don't use.
Obsidian is like you, doesn't buy the graphic T-shirts themselves.
I used to. Listen, I used to be addicted to graphic T-shirts. I used to spend way too much. I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself. Do people know, like, Shirt Woot? It was this thing where, like, there would be a different graphic T-shirt every day, and it was nerdy. I wasted so much money on that. It was absurd. But, like, now, I'm a hipster. Hipster? I don't know if I'm a hipster. I'm a dink. Dual income, no kids.
I thought it was the other one.
So I try to buy like more natural fibers because I've heard all this stuff about how polyester is the devil. And so like I also am a stinky, sweaty person. So I started wearing merino shirts, and like they do it for me because they don't stink as bad as my like old school shirts used to. And the merino shirt companies have terrible graphics, so I don't tend to get a lot of merino graphic tees.
Diana has said the magic line of like, sub, comment, ring the bell, join the Patreon, and good night, folks. As well as, which is me adding in, there is a affiliate link for Fenris Workshop.
Yes, thank you.
FenrisWorkshop.com/Mr. Pink. Also, Nick, I thought you were a dual income little dog owners.
Oh yeah.
Don't say out loud.
Dildo. Yeah. Like, I'm just referring to the town in Newfoundland, all right? I'm just referring to the town in Newfoundland. Dual income, we own a little dog. He's not a little dog. He's a medium dog. Dilmo.
He was when you got him. He was a little dog when you got him.
Dimo? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
All right, Dimdo. There we go. Oh, yeah. Diana, I'm looking into cotton with no BS in it. Nora just found this company that does all pure cotton stuff. So that's another alternative for natural fibers that don't. Also, I just don't want to like buy, like people do this. I don't know if I'm in the wrong audience for this, but like this like Shein stuff, Temu stuff, where they buy like shirts for like $2 or whatever and wear them 3 times and throw them out. I'm trying to get away from that. Yeah. So I feel like too many graphic tees feels too disposable to me, but people like graphic tees, so we got a warp shadow. But that's also, I guess, another reason why I'm doing the warp shadow in like small batches, where if you like know me, if you like my stuff, you want like a cool design that I actually paid an artist for, you can get it. But anyway, we'll figure it out. Thank you, everyone. Oh, Sato Newly got here. Oh, yeah. Dang, son. Yeah, we did it early today because I got to go see my brother now. In fact, I got to run right now. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. And we will talk to you soon. Oh, damn, and I should say, I think I'm going to stream on Wednesday with the normal North American crew at the normal like 7:30 time. But then I will be traveling for 2 weeks, so there will not be, we'll miss one Creature Conference stream, and then we'll miss a Work in Progress Wednesday stream. And I think the next Creature Conference will be something around June 16th, like a month away, basically.
14th or the 28th.
14th, I think. Yeah, so Flynn, there you go. You got some time to pull together the cool stuff you've seen in Junestealer, so everyone can look forward to the next Creature Conference where we're going to go over cool Junestealer stuff that Flynn's had. Sounds good, Flynn?
Yeah, I've got to find all that stuff. But yeah, that's going to be fun for me to find. Tag me, tag us on stuff. Help me out.
Yeah, so make sure that for... Wait, I have it here. Make sure that for... Junestealer, that you head over to Warp Shadow, check out the Junestealer post that Flynn very helpfully put up. Thank you, Flynn. Check out the cool art from TacticalDbag and... what's the word I'm looking for? Dachande. Over on the Warp Shadow account. And make sure to post your cool Junestealer stuff in June. I unfortunately will be traveling for most of the month, so I don't know how much I'm going to get up to, but I've got this Patriarch guy. And I look forward to seeing what you do. Go ahead, Flynn.
Apart from us and Simon, let your favorite creators know about Junestealer. See if they want to take part.
I am going to message this to 7 out of 10, 10 out of 7 right now.
Yeah.
Because
I know
would
there
love
are people interested
to see what 10 out of 7 can do for Junestealer. Yeah. Oh, sugar, I did it the wrong way.
That's good. That's on the screen. It's fine.
What?
Screen, it's fine. Or are you trying to end the stream?
Okay, I gotta finish. Okay, everyone, thank you.
Guys.
Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay creative. Have fun, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.